I want to talk about how there is a lot of colorism pages with this huge microphone and they're speaking for all of the melanated girls when a lot of us just don't have that same incel experience. And that's at this point what I'm going to call it, because I remember back in the day, I would obviously just stumble across it. I've never been the type to like really consume it because it's just so negative and it's not relatable for me, at least. They always talking about how their dating life sucks because all the men just want light-skinned girls. And first of all, I could never relate to that. My dating life actually has never sucked. All of the men I've dated has spoiled me rotten. I have no problem getting male attention. And just for some more background about what I look like and my skin complexion, right? So I consider myself dark skinned, but if you see me in person or online, many people tend to correct me and they're like, you're not dark skinned, you're brown skinned. The reason why I call myself dark skinned is because, yes, my original skin tone is kind of like a caramel brown. And so that was the color I was when I was a toddler. And actually right now that's the color that I am because I'm just in the house more. But growing up, I literally lived outside, playing outside all day long, so I was dark skinned. And so that's just kind of what my identity has been for the longest, I guess. But I don't know, people are always correcting me. They're like, no, you're not dark skinned, you're brown skinned. Whatever, okay? I'm talking about women who have melanated skin, okay? Who have rich, colored skin. I also think that when it comes to my skin complexion, it's just constantly changing too much for me to give it a specific definition. That's why I like to just call myself chocolate, because I don't know if you stay the same one shade all year round for the rest of your life, but for me, I am on all of the different spectrums. Like in the summertime, I can be really dark skinned. And in the winter, I get much lighter. Definitely in photos, my shades is like picking up differently. Like when I take pictures, I kind of look like this lady on the screen right now. But in person, I don't know, I look more darker. So it just really depends on the circumstance, honestly. Because my skin is like all different shades of brown. Anyways, I noticed as an adult, just in general, that a lot of women are just very insecure. And that's something that I just cannot relate to. I'm not an insecure person, like at all. So I've been really unpacking, like, okay, so what is the difference between me and these other women? And we're gonna specifically talk about like those colorism channels and stuff and just the things that they complain about. And I just cannot relate. Like, for example, I have never in my life, not even once, had a thinking process where it's like, I hate my skin color. I wish I was light skinned. And I think the reason why I don't is because my mom did not allow room for that in the house at all. I had a very pro-Black mom. She was very active on just reinforcing my confidence as a child. She was just way ahead of her game. She was aware of like all of the negative talk in the streets, and she did not want that to eat me up as a chocolate girl. So for example, she hated the term good hair. In that term is usually used for like mixed women and stuff like that. She didn't even allow me to use that in the house. Like if I were to use that in the house, that is literally a curse word to her. Like she really took those things really seriously. She did not allow insecure talk in our home, basically, at all. Like zero tolerance for it. And she always just let me know, like, hey, listen, you are on the darker side and this is how life is going to be. Don't let people make you insecure. You walk with your head up. You walk confident. Like, I'm telling you, she drilled messages like that in my head. And I feel like with children, and I took a child development class, children are a blank slate. It's up to the parent to mold them on what you want them to be. So that's why I feel like a lot of these dark-skinned girls that are walking around insecure, a big portion of why that is because your parents have failed you in the home. So maybe you had a mother that would idolize like light skin children, or she just never clocked incorrect talk in the house. You know, for example, when I said that good hair comment, how my mom would never let me use that term. You probably didn't have a mother like that, so she allowed room for insecurity in your house. My mom, zero tolerance for any insecure talk around our skin complexion. She raised us to be very confident, to the point where she even gave us like confident Afrocentric names. Like, she was that serious, that proactive. So that's why I am confident in return. My mom has molded me to be a very confident woman. The world has reflected that back on me, I guess, because I don't have negative experiences with men. I never had a thought process like, oh, he chose her because she's light skinned and I'm dark skinned. Like, no, not at all. In fact, I was actually the girl that, like, out of all my friend groups, men would usually gravitate towards me the most in the bars. So that's interesting. I think I was more, in fact, if anything, chosen more by men, definitely not chosen less. That's why the colorism content just kind of reminds me of a bunch of like incels, basically. You know how incels will get online, like the men, they'll get online and just talk about how women are terrible and horrible. And it's like, speak from your perspective. Not every man is getting played the way you're getting played. Stop projecting. That's how I feel about colorism content. What they're not realizing is, that's why on my channel, my motto is, if you're pretty, you're pretty. People cannot deny beauty, period. If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And the world is definitely going to let you know. And, you know, men just, they don't do this thing where it's like, wow, she's drop dead gorgeous, but, you know, she's brown skin, I can't do it. Like, as a majority, they're not going to do that. And of course, yes, people have their preferences. Many men love a chocolate sister. We know that. Some men like Latinas. Some men like white girls. But I feel like too many colorism channels hyper focus on the small group of men that might have just want maybe like a white girl, you know? Stop focusing on that. You're enhancing it with a magnifying glass in your own life, and that's what's causing you to be insecure. That's another reason why I don't consume that content, and I never did. I kind of just stumbled across it. I always like to see what people have to say just out of curiosity, but I never ate it up because, once again, my mom never allowed insecure talk in our household at all. And to me, those colorism channels is insecure talk. It's not doing anything, but it's just making you feel sorry for yourself. And then every time you see a light-skinned girl, you are putting her on this pedestal, like way above you, you know? And I don't do things like that. I don't care about your skin complexion. If a woman is beautiful, she's beautiful, period. If you're not, you're not. And I think that's what it comes down to. A lot of the dark-skinned girls that are complaining online are just simply the small group of dark-skinned girls that are just not attractive. The same way there's white girls that are not attractive. The same way there's Mexican girls that are not attractive. There's unattractive people in every category. Okay? So, yeah. Like I said, it starts at home. And if you are a mother listening to this and you have a chocolate daughter, you have to speak confidence into her. That's not an option. If you don't, the world is going to, like colorism channels and stuff like that, they're going to tell her how to feel about herself. I never, ever, ever let those channels gaslight me and tell me how to feel about myself and tell me no man wants me because I'm dark skinned and tell me this is going to be my experiences because I'm dark skinned, when it has not been, and it hasn't been for a lot of dark-skinned girls. It starts at home, guys. You can't have a dark-skinned baby and just let her go into the world completely blind. You have to set her up so that she can see through the agenda that people are going to want to push onto her, which is, you are dark-skinned, so you need to be insecure. No. I've never subscribed to content like that at all. You are not going to change my reality, okay? speak from your perspective, but don't take the microphone and speak for all of us. Please don't. That's just my story on confidence and just in general. Like, this is just one topic. I am definitely going to make other videos on, I have a secure attachment style and stuff like that. And I just noticed, like, dang, women are just really insecure. And honestly, I really cannot relate at all. I just can't relate. Another reason why I am confident in my complexion and I never had a thinking process of light-skinned girls are above me is because I have this like radical acceptance type of personality, which means this is who I am. I can't change that, so why focus on something that is out of my control? So I kind of just accepted, like, I'm brown skin. I have no problem with it. I actually like it. Brown skin is just so beautiful to me. I've always thought that because, like, especially when we put like oil, we just look like supermodels. Yeah, I just always thought that it was dumb and kind of like a waste of stress, insecurity, and thinking to want to change something that you can't change about yourself. So why not just accept you for who you are? I think that's the main reason why I just don't allow any room for insecurities. So it's my upbringing and that. I really examined this as an adult because just having so many female friends and hearing like the things they're insecure about, I'm just like, what? First of all, it's usually like the tiniest things that people just don't even notice. I'm like, it's just stupid to constantly put yourself in a bad mood over small things that you can't control. So that's why I don't even like allow room for me to ruminate on insecurities. I just don't. It's kind of like a waste of thinking. But I just want to say I am not denying colorism. Colorism is real all around the world. I just think that overall, if you are a gorgeous woman, you're a gorgeous woman, and nothing can override that, basically. And your experiences in the world will reflect back on you.